Everyone, it's Jay from Lords of War. Going solo today. My partner in crime, Chris, is a little bit sick, so this week's video will be a little shorter. But there's still some things to cover. First thing, I want to show the nights that I finished for my Cities of Sigmar. So I've been every week. Chris is like, "What are you gonna finish? What are you gonna got on the paint table?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm still trying to finish these." So this has been a slow project. Basically, I got these knights when they came in. Cities of Sigmar kind of, what do you call it? Vanguard box or whatever. This is basically the when they do an army release with a book and a fancy cover book and some models. They come out before the main release. So in there you get some foot guys, some mounted guys, some heroes. And that's kind of it, just to get you going. So this was my opportunity to get a kind of a color scheme down and kind of figure out kind of what this army is going to look like before the rest releases, which apparently will be very soon. About when I thought it would, but it kind of sneaks up on you. So either way, for these models, I chose like a lot of. I really like the art, or sorry, not the art, but like the way they're painted in the books with the like a lot of metallic. That's been like really carefully shaded and even weathered a bit. So a lot of this is like a lot of different metallic silvers and things. So I used quite a bit of so my base coat is an AK. Sorry, it's not an AK. It's a Vallejo game color dark gunmetal. It's a newer paint they've released. So I airbrushed that really quick. It's actually the only airbrush step I do on these models because the other details are kind of just like in the, like, they're too tight to really like knock out. Like, there's small areas that I was fine base coating and hand painting or whatever, but I felt like the silver at least. But then the bronze, I was like, I still had to do by hand. So either way, so it's a dark gunmetal, and then it's painted up by hand with a with AK natural steel, and then the Vallejo metal colors chrome paint, which is very, very bright, obviously. And that paint is also very thin, so you kind of have to like put some in your palette and just kind of let it sit for a bit to kind of thicken a tiny bit, and then just apply thin layers. And a lot of the work is I spend a lot of time just carefully edge highlighting, and then there's a lot of like just straight like thin black paint and Agrax and bright glint flesh shade and these colors that are used to kind of weather things. And then I opted for yellow, like a pale yellow and purple kind of quarters or whatever for these guys. And then let's see if we can grab the flag guy, just mostly because his base isn't as busy. So I did a video last week about using the Green Stuff World rollers. So this is someone was like, show me a finished one. So this is here you go, commenter. Yeah, so this is so I rolled the base. This one I did kind of more on like an angle, and just dry brushed with my handy dandy Artist Opus dry brush. If you haven't used those, they're very nice. And yeah, just layered up some grays. I think I use there's an AK. So I think it's called like French artillery gray or something. It's just this kind of pale bluish gray color. So yeah, we dry brushed up to that, and then I used, if you can see it, I don't know if I can see it in the camera here, but there's like a mossy kind of color, like a greenish tinge in between the bricks. So I kind of just by hand carefully, like with a small brush, painted that. And there's a Vallejo, basically moss or lichen paint you can get. I thought that looked pretty cool actually. That kind of. And then I paired it with, there's a lot of Green Stuff World leaves and litter and tufts. Kind of made it look, I don't know, the fall's the season right now, seemed to work for that. So that's the thing, is coming up with like basing schemes that are like, I think it would have looked like too like simple, but also like have some depth to them. So I could have just left it cobblestone, but I don't know, I kind of wanted, I was like, maybe there's some debris, maybe it's overgrown a little bit. And then, like I said, my other favorite thing about these models is the decals, which is like so rare on a non-40K model, but there you go. And then the other paint that was this, you can see I did them in the, this is the Vindicarum city. Like I said, my different units are going to have different cities, like badges, I guess. But I don't know, I kind of like the symbol with the gear and whatever. And then the other painful thing was painting all these checks. So those are not etched onto the banner at all. And yeah, I realize they're not perfect, but because the flag is waving, so it makes it extra and difficult to paint straight checks. But anyway, I figured why not take the time and do that. And then there's my foot guy that I did first. He's the first guy that I did, if he's in focus at all. He might not be coming to too many things. Anyway, so that was that. So that's it with that. So next up is 19 more of these guys. Because, yeah, that's the kind of the other thing in my army that will be, I guess, featuring probably more often than not. I don't know, you always need those basic dudes. So then the other main topic of this video really is all of the new stuff that GW is releasing. So it's basically like it's like a fire hose. A fire hose has been turned on. Basically, yeah, for the next 3 weeks straight, and then probably more because there's basically a 3 week or a 2 week delay, I guess. So they just preview stuff every Sunday, or they basically say every Sunday this is the next wave coming, and then that isn't coming out for 2 weeks after that. So they've kind of got a new. You probably read some articles online. Some of the kind of hobby news websites have been talking about the new kind of way the Games Workshop is trying to. I'll give them some credit. They are trying to make a more equitable kind of release for the retailers. As for years they've kind of struggled a little bit with like. Having enough for everyone for all the stores. So I don't know how many. Let's say there's, I don't know. I mean, they have 500 of their own stores, but then like in North America they might have another 500 or 1,000 or probably more, probably several thousand retailer accounts like us, independents. So whatever they have on hand for that new release, they want to make sure that everyone has a chance to get some. Which is why we've seen the like allocations that sometimes you hear about where they're like, oh, stores are only getting 2 of this and that. What they try and do is basically take the total amount they have in the warehouse and then divide it by the number of stores and make that available first, and then whatever's left over, then you can try and scramble to buy the following week. The way they used to do it, not that long ago, I would say kind of pre-COVID, was you just could ask for whatever and you got whatever, and hopefully you got it. Usually it was pretty reliable, but I think the supply chain was just better then. And now you only really see that with like really big releases like Tyranids and Space Marines, for example, recently had very large, like they didn't really have caps. You could I could ask for 100 of something or whatever, and they probably could fill it because they have so much. That's how much they stocked of it, for good reason. And those that very popular ranges. Also starter box ranges. So a lot of they presume everyone who bought a starter box is going to buy some more stuff to go with it. But now there's like some other approach where they want to have a longer pre-order window and give stores a better chance to like figure out how many they need. That's why every video Chris and I are like, please tell us what you want, so that we can make sure you can get it and no one gets disappointed. So either way, without further ado, the next 3 weeks, starting with this coming Saturday, the 28th, just to give you an idea of how much stuff is coming out. So this week is kind of the Horus Heresy weekend, kind of. So we've got a random Votan guy. He's like a cool anniversary model. He's just kind of thrown in there. There's a Horus Heresy battle group. So that is the kind of the bigger box that's limited. Actually, they're gonna. Looks like they've made a generous amount, but once it's gone, it's gone. And that one has the new Daredeo in plastic and the new Mark IIIs in plastic. And I think some other items. I think there's a Land Raider Proteus and stuff. It's a very nice loaded box. And looks like I think we already have it for pre-sale on our website. I forget the cost, but I think it's under $300. It's like really cool. Then they also have separate kits for the Mark III boxes, for the Daredale box, and there's a new little model figure case that they've designed, which I don't know, looks like it carries like a small warband or maybe a unit or two of models, and it's got the typical Games Workshop fashion. It's got some crazy engineering to it. It's like they've gone from like foam to cut to zigzag foam, the pluck foam to zigzag foam to some sort of these look like some sort of carefully spaced pegs that just kind of hold your model in place, and I don't know. I'm sure it works really well, to be honest. They usually they do pretty well on the product design standpoint for like tools and model cases and things like that. So then the following Saturday, November the 4th, there's a product called Death Gorge, which is like the new Underworlds team, or sorry, 2-player box. I'll be honest, I already forgot. I think it's got the new Slaanesh guys in it, and I don't know if it's got Cruel Boys or something. I don't know. It's got some dudes in there. They're always nice. That's all I gotta say. Like, can't go wrong. And then there's a wave of Necromunda stuff. So there's a new Ash Waste book, and a new and then a new kit for the Bansar gang. It's like a crazy Titanfall robot thing. The two guys, it's like a pair of them. And they call it a Bansar Arachnid or something like that. It looks amazing. So that's coming out. And there's also associated like card backs and rule packs for that. And then on the 11th, we get the real tidal wave of which is exciting for me, not for my wallet. Is the rest of the city's release. So there's like they're just gonna spit it all out in one day. So you've got the main hero Talia. If you hear a leaf blower going, you can blame my crazy neighbor here. He's just blowing around. I'm trying to ignore that if you can. So you've got the main hero, and then you've got Zenestra's like the Pope Lady, and then there's like all the foot heroes, the Steel Helms, the Knights. There's the Cannon. There's handgunners. There's a Ogre guy. Just I don't know. I think I want to count like 10 or 11 model kits and plus the general release of the book and cards. So that's a huge kind of wave there. But wait, there's more, which I can't believe this is all in one weekend. So that's stuff they just previewed, which is the new Stormcast. Well, new. He's the Stormcast Relictor guy. He's kind of like an apothecary mixed with a chaplain from the original starter box. His name's Ionis or something like that. He is coming. He's back with a vengeance. He's riding a dragon, and he looks extremely epic. I say the model just looks mean and looks like it just like does stuff on the table. And anyway, it's a box that comes with him. I think it's him on his dragon and 2 more small dragons, like something like that, like some crazy deal actually. So definitely get that. That's going to be limited, so you want to get that. I don't know if it's limited, but it's kind of better get it now than later. And so that's like right away. Like we just saw this guy like a week ago, and on the preview or whatever. And then after that is alongside with that, there's even more. There's the Sylvaneth Kurnoth Hunter on Beetle. I think it's called Bethalos' Blades or something like that. So that's another cool box. It sounds like it's got some pretty good rules too, so I think every Sylvaneth player is going to definitely want to look at that. It's very loaded. That Saturday is bonkers. And then to add to that, here at the store, well, not here at the store, but also on that day we have our Sword and Brush event, which is it's not our event, but it's the event we're joining in, and we invite everyone to come to. And that is quickly for details, you can Google it, but it's basically on QEW and Guelph Line in Burlington at a Holiday Inn there, just off the highway. And yeah, come check that out. Make sure you come buy a ticket on the website and just come and see the figure show. If at the very least, or enter some models that you've been working on. I don't know what I'll enter yet. Maybe I'll enter these Knights because I spend a lot of time on them, and maybe I'll make a little vignette for them or something to kind of stick them on. I might have just enough time for that. I was hoping to paint another figure, but the timing is not likely happening with that. The life with the baby at home. So either way, yeah. So that's at least the next 3 weeks, and then every Sunday, Games Workshop spits out the next kind of wave. What else going on here at the store with our Age of Sigmar 40K leagues? We're wrapping. We're in our 4th round, so we have another round, and then so that'll finish off in November. Oh, I can't believe I forgot this. I'm meandering here a little bit. They also previewed. This is probably coming up now that I can think about it. The Games Workshop revealed their they're army boxes, they're Christmas boxes. So there's the 4 AOS ones, I think 6 40K ones. I haven't fully looked at all of the 40K. I know there's one with Angron, which is a steal. And in the Age of Sigmar, you have an incredible, like a Sylvanet, like a perfect Sylvanet, not Sylvanet, Seraphon box. Yeah, they all look smashingly good this year. I mean, every year they're pretty good, but usually there's like a couple that are like definitely the best ones, and then there's the rest are kind of like good ones, you know, still good deals and everything. But this year's look, they're all bangers. Like, they're just incredible. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be up for pre-sale pretty soon, if they're already revealing it. Maybe they're going to time it with Black Friday or something. I don't know. You know, they're not going to really have a % off, but you know, in their minds, it's that's what it is. These value-added boxes or whatever. And businesses like having something on that week, on that American Thanksgiving weekend. So, yeah. So, so I hope you've been saving your money. Anyway, that's it for this week, and yeah, we'll catch you next week. Hopefully, both Chris and I, with whatever wacky thing goes on in the hobby world. Whatever, maybe we'll have another hot take video of some sort. We'll see. Anyway, comment below. What do you think of the Knights? And maybe I'll make some sort of video to do with maybe I'll paint. I'll have to paint more. I'll have to paint another batch at some point. So maybe I'll do a video like that or whatever. Maybe I'll do one, like try and do one kind of start to finish. So anyway, have a good one, guys. Have a good week. Thanks.